your ass up.
Or take a damn nap.
And we're the three best friends that anybody could have.
It's time.
Sean, you were twerking. That's going to happen.
Murph, don't be a dick all your life.
It's one of the more fun podcasts I've ever done.
Hey, I tell you what, if you're not talking about sports in the man cave, I bet not say you not a man.
That's it.
The fifth time. Oh, and I had poop on that arm earlier.
Yeah.
Hey, that is the dad life with our absent compadre, that being Big Mike. Asher, now both of you gentlemen, the dad life, you guys know it all too well. When you saw that, did you laugh or did you say, you know what, I've been there?
I've been a little bit of both. I laughed and I was like, man, I'm glad he gets to experience it, man, because I know Mo can speak on this too. There's nothing else like being a dad and the growth and watching other kids flourish, and then you get to be around your kids and you get to watch them grow and go about their way. But the process is something else. I'm telling you, the poopy diapers and the puking and the crying, it's fun until it ain't.
I don't miss that shit at all.
Hey, episode 86, gentlemen, Hardball Harge and Coach Mo. Big Mike is out on business with his son. You just saw there, Asher and Sam Marcus. As you know, Last Stand Hats is they are monopolizing the world with all the colleges in this region, not only in Texas, Texas State being one of them. So, he's got to, create and network. And just to give you guys, you guys have seen it on social media. My name's Sean Clinch, by the way, if you're wondering who this guy is with no hair who's covering it up. Hardball Harge and I, we are proud baldies. And this is what we're talking about.
Nobody said I was proud. I mean,
man, hey, you got to be proud, man.
I'm like, man, I'm trying to tell people that I'm proud. I'm trying to get that hair, man. COVID kind of made me grow it out, but I feel you. I digress.
But I digress. So you look at Harge's background, the Harge Knocks Life. That's his podcast. And so those hats are made by Big Mike and Last Stand Hats. So I'm going to sum it up in 14 seconds. What has happened in the past, I guess, 2 weeks. Check this out. I'm speechless, fellas. I know, Harge, you're in touch with Big Mike throughout the week. I try to be, and Coach Mo too. How do you sum up what you just saw? Those are now name, image, and likeness clients, not really employees, but athletes at Texas and Texas State.
What I think has truly happened. You want to go, Mo?
Hell, I'm jealous. Shit, I wish shit would have been around 20-some years ago.
That's exactly where I was about to go with it, Mo. That's exactly where I was about to go with it.
We'll be in Turks and Caicos somewhere, baby. Hey!
But the way that he's gone about it and the professionalism in which he has created this, and we all know Mike. We were with Mike when he started, when he just got together and started making these hats to try to make some things that he thought people would like because he liked them. And then he started out in left field and just occupied left field at the UT baseball games. And that became something that was going on. And then it just kept going and going and going. And it became almost like a cult following. Yeah. That's how awesome that it grew. And then when the name, image, and likeness part of it came about, he jumped right in the front because he knew the trials and the errors that he went through to try to make this happen. And he wants to make sure, the one thing that I've really enjoyed when I talked to him about this, he's trying to make these kids understand that this is going to be your brand forever. After you get done, just like Coach Mo, when he started his Mo Fitness, that's who he is now. I'm hardball because of what I did on the baseball field and created my lane there, coaching kids and then being on the radio and in the community and things like that. So when you start at an early age of understanding your worth and who you are, he's educating these kids for that. So as they go on and the ball stops bouncing their way and they create their own name, they're creating a brand that will be with them forever.
Coach Mo and Harge, one name, image, likeness is obviously to sum up what you said, Harge. Last Stand Hats and Big Mike have been on the forefront of this. And now there is such a gray area, but a generous gray area for these athletes, including the Longhorns, like Cameron Dicker, the kicker. He commented this week on his latest name, image, likeness deal. And, just being in Dicker, the kicker kind of humor, this is how he describes what he's been up to as far as what deals he has.
Area. Just did a fun deal with a local roofing company and then working on a couple things on my own. And then obviously on Cameo, shooting videos for fun for people.
Hey, imagine, okay, I can't relate. I just tried to be a walk-on. No one cared who the hell I was. But you guys had clout back in your college and for you, Hard, your pro days. Coach Mo, what would it have been like for you guys if this was NIL type of era for you guys?
Since Mo is froze up, I'm gonna go ahead and take this one right now. But for me, it's all about the personality of who you are as well. I think I would have taken full advantage of this situation because I've always been the same outgoing type of person and being able to communicate with others. I played quarterback coming out of high school, but I was a shortstop as well, team captain. So you have to kind of understand how to deal with people and do different things. And now even with the baseball stuff that I did in the past and now Mo doing his coaching and being personable, again, it goes back to the branding of which you have become, but you could have created that a while back. So I think it would have been a fun time to be a college kid with these types of situations. I mean, Eric Dickerson been getting money for a long time for his name, image, and likeness. I would have been rocking my curl. I would have got sponsored by Jerry Curl back in the day. That's how it worked.
He would have been the first original Soul Glow. That brother.
Hey, well, let's be honest with ourselves. We've had under the table deals going on since the inception when there were scholarship limits. When it went to 85 scholarships, the former Southwest Conference, can we all agree that's what happened? That's what caused the demise of the Southwest Conference, in addition to the TV deals becoming huge. It was all that exchange of money under the table.
No, it's always about money. At the end of the day, man, money can fuck up a good thing. But, the powers that be, that's what it is. It's the name of the game. The powers that be decides what's going to happen, what will happen, what's not going to happen. So when you put money into the equation, it can mess up a lot of stuff. But hey, look where we at now. Yeah. Texas in the SEC. The little boys getting pushed out again. The Rices and the Oklahoma States and the Texas Tech. Man, what's going on, Hodge? Man, what's going on?
That's very well put there, Mo. I like the way you said that. Money can F up a good thing. And it's really true because when you sit here and you look at the things that were happening before, they always said this, and it's kind of funny because I never really thought about it this way, but what's done in the dark always comes to light. So now with the name, image, and likeness and all the stuff that's been going on for so long, and I think to cover what Mo was just talking about, I think the reason why the Oklahoma and the Texas situation happened because they were the big dogs. They were the ones, regardless of the records. Now, Oklahoma was doing their thing. Texas was pitter-puttering throughout it. But no matter what, the value of that brand of the University of Texas has never wavered. It's like the Dallas Cowboys. People hate the Cowboys, but they're the most valued organization in sports. So when you take it full circle in Alabama and Texas A&M, who has grown exponentially right now, they have done an unbelievable job with Jimbo Fisher because of the recruiting of being in the SEC. Texas needed to bring it back to where it was going to be on the playing field.
Right.
And all the things that were happening in the SEC that, let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about what's really going on in the SEC.
Right.
Now is where it is, right, is how it's all got played out. So to me, I think it was long overdue for Texas to make that move. Sorry, right. Texas A&M, but they needed to even out the playing field as far as recruiting as well.
Absolutely.
So that's why I think that all happened.
You know what? The players as a whole, the players are not upset about the move. It's the politicians. It's all that. You know, it's window dressing, man. That's all that is. You know, deep down inside, they know it's best for, as a whole, that is great for the SEC to bring another Texas team as well as bringing Oklahoma to the table. You know how much money that SEC is going to make? Oh, my God.
Right.
$60 million estimated per program per year. That's a boost from $48 million per program per year in the Big 12.
Not to cut you off, if anyone should be mad, should be the other conferences, because recruiting as a whole, shit, SEC finna have a lot of stuff on lock.
Oh, for sure. That's why I believe that they need to form like those super conferences and create another conference for everybody else, because it's the haves and the haves not. And it's an awful way of thinking about life, but it is what it is. No matter what you're doing, you either have or you don't. And if you don't, it ain't happening for you. So, you know, they always say scared money can't make no money, and they putting a lot of money out there right now.
60 million, baby, let's go.
$60 million. He got his own money.
You know what? One thing I'm looking forward to now. You know, I'm going to the Texas-Arkansas game September 10th. The game's on the 11th. I've been there, but never been for a game. So now this adds another layer to it, because, you know, Arkansas people they hate Texas to begin with. So if I don't come back in one piece on September 13th, you guys know why. They can't stand Texas. Now, just to kind of put a bundle on what we've been talking about, Last Stand hats, I'm wearing one. Stephen F. Austin, one of his latest, that being Big Mike's contractual agreements. Harge with your hats back there. Beautiful background, by the way. I love it. Nice and creative. And
I love Mo's background. I love Mo's background better.
Just shelving. Yeah. He's in a storage unit.
Hey, hello.
Hello. Wake your ass up.
There we go.
I like it. I like it, man. See, so we're all representing our brother, and when you go to his website, laststandhats.com, and of course follow him on Twitter at laststandhats, and you'll see all the new name, image, and likeness guys and girls from Texas and Texas State who he's offered. Now, guys, it's kind of a special time of year because Texas has something much bigger than anywhere across the country. Ooh. High school football, the scrimmages started across the state yesterday, and next Thursday to be exact, the season begins. What level? I know, Coach Mo, you have a lot of interest in Texas high school football because you train a lot of the athletes. And Harge, a lot of people don't know this. Not only was he a great baseball player, one hell of a quarterback at Colleen Ellison, not the Kangaroos.
Make sure you get that right. Eagles fly high. Come on, man. K-Town, baby. K-Town. Right. Make sure you get that right.
Tell me a little before we introduce you to a special guest who has been in the Texas high school coaching fraternity for quite a while. You guys briefly sum up this feeling you still get this time of year and how special it is with Texas high school football.
Dude, it's hands down. It's the best. Texas high school football is like the epic, man, when it comes to football. It's where it's every kid in the state of Texas at some point is playing football and you get those nerves and that vibe because you smell that fresh cut of that grass, coach yelling, everybody's sweating. Shit, I'm getting hyped thinking about it right now. Where my pants?
Where your helmet at, dog? Where your helmet at?
Yeah, let's go. I got one rep. I got one plate in me. That's it, though. After that, one plate.
Yeah, I went to a high school scrimmage last night. I got a chance to watch Lake Travis take on Cedar Ridge over at Round Rock High School. My little cousin plays running back for Lake Travis this year. And so Mark Henry's son was out there. Mark Henry's son was out there playing. Jacob was out there doing his thing. But, man, this is what it's all about. I got a 12-year-old son that is now getting ready to play middle school football. And I'm just so excited for him because he's getting a chance to play quarterback, and he's a very smart kid, very intelligent kid. But this is the first time he's played tackle.
Wow. Okay, that's a big step up.
Yeah, it's a big step for him. But he's played a lot of flag, like basically the 7-on-7 is what he's been doing, a lot of it. And I'm just like, man, let me see what he does out here, because I'm so excited to watch his growth and maturation. He's played a bunch of other sports, but football is where it's at. Being a Texas kid and playing in Central Texas, I'm so excited about all this stuff that's happening right now.
I am too. And now, who is the big guy for Lake Travis, DJ, who trucked somebody last night, I believe?
He was a running back and plays linebacker. Yeah, he ran through somebody last night. He ran through a couple people last night. It was pretty interesting.
Do you know his family? Do you know his family?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, I want to bring somebody in who I've known since 2000. He was an assistant at Alto High School, which was an East Texas football power. Produced quite a bit of guys. Brian Gamble, who is
BG
assistant coach at Texas State on Jake Spavital's staff. He was a tremendous linebacker at Alto. And Marty Murr. Oh, that's right. He played at A&M. That's right.
Number 17.
He played with him at A&M. This is my guy, Marty Murr. He Alto took over as head coach there. Anahuac, San Augustine in East Texas. They won 40 games in 3 years.
Damn.
Second to last year before COVID hit. Marty Murr is here in the God's country, Jarrell, Texas. I couldn't think of a better way than to welcome you here than to meet the Man Cave boys on Stories Inside the Man Cave. Marty Murr has joined us.
Man Cave guys, great to meet you, man. Sean, I've known Sean a long time. Great to see him again, and excited to be here. Thank y'all for having me, man.
Well, I'm sorry that you guys sit that close to Sean, because I'm worried about you.
But you know what, though, Coach? The way you sound make me want to go play for you right now. You got that coach's voice.
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of yelling.
Yeah, I've been yelling already, man. I'm losing my voice every day.
Hey, well, tell us.
Yes, sir.
It's in your blood. All four of us can say we're extremely passionate about something. And I left one of my passions recently. And so what keeps you going? Because did you ever think that your career would lead you not only to the Austin area, but to Jarrell, Texas, of all places?
No, I really didn't. I went over to East Texas to SFA and coached over there for 30 years. I think this is my 31st year. It kind of runs together. But no, I didn't. And it's really, man, it's like you said, Texas high school football. I mean, it's really the center of high school football in the country, man. I mean, there's only 3 or 4 states that are even close, I think. Coaches will tell you that recruiting college and stuff, they say, hey, Texas is the hotbed. It is. And the passion and the longevity comes from coaching these kids and watching these kids get better every year and trying to build programs. And left East Texas, never thought I would. I'm in Jarrell. We're excited about it.
Well, Coach, I wanted to ask you, you had a couple stops in different places and some small towns, and now Jarrell is a lot of people are starting to move out to the Jarrell area. So you're getting a lot of different athletes. When you see some kids that, you're like middle school and you see them in their little Pop Warner days, and are you kind of saying, oh, I wish that kid would come to Jarrell, or I wish this kid would come to this school, and just kind of checking into your feeder systems, because I know that is the lifeblood of what your high school feeds off of.
It is. And this district here, that's one of the things that excited me too. This district is exploding. I think we have close to 600 new students this year, district-wide. Wow. I mean, it's from May. And so I think we'll be 4AD2 probably one more time, and we really may go to 5A after that. And so we're exploding. We've got a lot of kids moving in, especially at the younger levels. Those schools are growing more. And so, man, pretty exciting. I'm telling you, we have 80 or 90 just 7th grade football players this year.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's exploding, and we got over 80 right now out in high school and everything. So the growth is good, and you're right. There's some athletes moving in here too. So, one of those things they talk about being successful and winning. Well, don't go anywhere where you can't win. That's
there you go. There you go. Hey, Coach, what has been your consistent message in, over the past 3 decades since you've been coaching? What has been your message to these young men, because after high school, some of them don't go to the collegiate level. Some of them become, citizens and go straight into the workforce. What has been your message to these young men when they play high school football?
It's really about the fraternity of the team. I always tell our kids it's about the journey. And so my goal is to provide an environment where these kids get to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And so, I always sound like a preacher here, but I always tell athletes, and when I get to athletics, athletics is the only place in this world where, your race, your religion, your economic status, all that stuff doesn't matter. If you bring something to that team and you contribute, there's a spot for you in that locker room. And holy cow, man, that's the only place I know of where none of that other stuff even matters. And so it's really about being a bonded group of brothers and just being a part of that thing that's bigger than you. It gets harder and harder as time goes on and society changes, but it's still very doable. And, those teams that go deep every year, they really know how to get that. And I think that's more important than your scheme.
I couldn't agree more. And we really appreciate you not only inviting us up here to Harge's point. Jarrell is becoming a real estate hotbed. And who would have thought, even back when the tornadoes hit twice here, but this place is fully recovered. Football program, you have nice facilities, and it's we're excited for you.
Well, really I appreciate it, man. You get good facilities. The superintendent's coming here really changed the look, and she's really preparing for our growth. And that's helped too, because now we're bringing some other people in from larger districts that understand what we really need to get to that next level. And that's huge, man.
Well, it's all about that infrastructure. No doubt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's exactly what it's about.
Yeah, Coach, I can tell you one thing. I'm gonna praise you on this. You got a really good coach over there, Coach Maldy.
Yes, hey, man. He's a home run, man.
That guy is a home run, brother.
Sir.
I've seen that coach in action, man. And the passion that he has on that field
that's the second key to success. Don't hire people that can't coach.
Man, it make you look good,
baby. Oh, yes. I love it.
Oh, my God. Well, Coach Murr.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, man. Yes, you guys, man, long time, buddy. Hey, he's a lumberjack too, baby.
Yes,
I caught that SFA earlier. I caught him earlier.
Great to meet you guys, man. Thank you.
Thank you too, Coach. The best of luck to you this season.
Absolutely, man. And Man Cave boys, these guys are great people to know. Hardball Harge and Coach Moan, you got to meet Big Mike. He's going through a lot right now with a young newborn who is spitting up on his shoulder and pooping on the other one. And so we gotta get together and meet you guys.
Yeah, but we'll be at a game, Coach. I'll be at a game.
Yeah, come out, man.
For sure.
Absolutely. And on the other side, in segment 2, we're going to meet the UT coordinators and try to figure out what they're all about, as Texas has got pretty much one more week left before they get into game mode. That's coming up on the other side of this break of Stories Inside the Man Cave, that being episode 86. For all of your insurance needs, look no further than our primary sponsor, Jim Saxton State Farm Insurance Agency. The ATX OG has been insuring Austin for over 3 decades. And get this, Jim Saxton is a Longhorn legacy. He is the son of the late, great James Saxton, who was a Heisman finalist. Be sure to give him a call, or better yet, visit his website, saxtoninsurance.com, and tell him that the stories inside the Man Cave Boys recommended you. Hey, welcome back. Texas football training camp, August. Harge and, Big Mike, first off, he's at Texas State today talking to the Bobcats, representing Last Stand Hats. But I know, Coach Mo, I got it. Before we move on to the Longhorns, I do want to say this. I'm borderline picking your Aggies to be top 5 in the country. I really feel that confident now. I really do. I'm convinced. Thoughts?
It's the preseason. Ain't nobody played a damn down yet. And I'm gonna have to wait. I'm gonna have to wait after the first game to make my prediction.
I like the way you said that, Mo. And it's fact. Ain't nobody done anything. They ain't bust grapes yet. But here's the biggest thing for me. Talent-wise and what they have returning, I would have to agree with Sean as far as the Aggies. I can't believe that this is coming out of my mouth. But I do understand that Jimbo Fisher, I believe that Jimbo Fisher has done some things as far as recruiting. And I think that the Aggies will contend. They will be pretty good this year. Damn it, that hurt. That hurt.
Something's wrong with his technical shit.
Man, you hurt my feelings a little bit.
Make sure you edit that, Sean.
Yeah, I will. I want to eliminate the whole damn thing. Hey, I will give them all due. I really think all the fruits of Jimbo's labors are coming to fruition here. I know last year was a COVID year. They almost made the 14 playoff, but they weren't. They were on the cusp. But I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm thinking you got Alabama at home. You've got 2 neutral site games, only 3 true road games. I think this is if A&M doesn't do it this year, Mo, it's going to be a while.
Well, you said Alabama at home, dude. Alabama, every game Alabama plays a home game for them. They don't give a damn where they play at.
Yeah, facts.
Hey, Coach Saban will have them prepared and ready. You know what? All shit to the side. And this is a good opportunity for them. If we can have a quarterback that can go in and manage the game properly and do his thing. We got a stud at running back, Isaiah Spiller. We got some studs on the outside in the receiver position. Our defense should be sound. It's just
you got an All-American and DeMarvin Leal is going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So the key is, man, is can Jimbo coach them, game by game? Let's not focus on the entire season at once. Let's focus on game by game. And then from there, can our quarterback manage the game in a way where he doesn't feel like he has to go out and win the game? Let's go out here and manage the game. Use the tools that you have. Let the defense go out and do their thing, and then let's go from there. Like, they can't be trying to look, okay, we got Alabama right here circled. No, man, just wait. Hold on. We ain't there yet.
Right. You ain't there yet. And we coming. No, I'm just kidding. Hold on. I'm just kidding. Well, hey, we're trying to figure things out around here. So
we are. Especially trying to figure out who's going to be the quarterback. That's the big news. But I'm starting to really, truly, honestly, not be too concerned about that when you hear Kyle Flood speak. I know Sark is the offensive coordinator. Flood I want you guys to hear this, because this is him talking about how he compliments Sark on the game planning, that there's some cohesiveness here and some relationships that go really deep. And I mean, just listen to this.
We have a really strong relationship in terms of how we communicate during the week. And then on game day, I feel great because I'm working with a great play caller.
Okay, so simple, to the point. That did not sound political. That was heartfelt, and you could tell it's just a working relationship that's gone pretty deep and far back.
Yeah, I mean, when you have that cohesiveness with some guys that you've worked with before, it makes things a lot easier. You kind of know the trends and the tendencies in which they're calling the plays, what they see as fit for their personnel, and there's not a lot of discussion. It's a lot of, okay, we got you, man. Let's ride with it. And you got a rhythm with your guy, and that's the main thing too. I mean, Mo played running back. He knows what the deal is. When that play call is happening, you ready. I'm going to get it a swing pass. I'm going to hit it up in the middle. I'm going to make my thing happen, and then I'm going to get the ball again and make it happen. As a quarterback, I'm sitting there calling the play. I don't even second guess it. I don't have to shake it off or change it at the line because I believe in it. So you know what's going on. So, yeah, I mean, but again, to Mo's point, we ain't played a damn down yet. So let's just see what happens, man. Let's see what happens.
Mo, what's your take on Stark and him being that offensive game planner? Because if there's one thing he knows, and we thought Herman was the guy, and again, Harge, we hadn't seen a damn thing yet. But I have more faith in that man creating something out of nothing offensively than I do looking back at Herman now.
Oh, facts.
Man, it's like what Hart said, it's all about personnel.
Personnel.
It's all about personnel. If the coach understands personnel and who to put in the right position at the right time on a certain plays, you're gonna be successful. That's what every great head coach knows, man. They know their personnel. They know who needs to be where.
That's right, Coach Murr know that too. He's like, man, I ain't putting up crazy. He ain't going back there. He's not sending a dude back there for punt return, and he can't even catch a snap.
Well, we move on to the defensive side of the ball, and it is one of those multi-syllable last names, and I'm going to see if I can get a crack at this. He last coached the University of Washington. He's Sark's chosen defensive coordinator, Pete Kwiatkowski. Did I get it right?
Man. You got it right.
Wait,
from the rest of this conversation, though, he's going to be known as PK.
Well, he has some lofty goals, and I know the Big 12 is crapped on constantly, but let's face it, man, there's some really good quarterbacks, good offenses, and this is PK, Coach Kwiatkowski's goal for the Texas defense this year.
It might be a high goal, but that's our goal, and we're either going to achieve it or not. But at the end of the day, it comes down to it is a team sport, and we're trying to hold them as few points as we can. And obviously, the offense is trying to score as many points as we can. I'm not sure on that one. Had some really successful defenses over the year. We won't hold them under 20 points a game, but we'll see.
20 points a game. Just a reminder, both of you are muted. I didn't know where that crackling was coming from, but 20 points a game, I think, is doable. It's been done, but rare. It's very rare in the Big 12.
Well, let me just say this. I've seen the Big 12 emerge. I've seen the Big 12 kind of make its mark. 20 points in a game. I don't remember the last time I saw that ever in a half in the Big 12.
In a quarter.
I mean, so for me, I think it's a great goal. And I think, goals are there to see if you can attain them and you have something that you're shooting for. But as far as being able to do that with some of the quarterbacks that we have in this league and some of the offensive minds that we have, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. And then, you're playing in different conferences and different styles. That's why I think the SEC has changed. And if you've been paying a lot of attention to it, they used to say all this stuff about that tough defense that they played there. Go back and look at some of the scores from the last couple of years. And the reason being is because a lot of teams have incorporated that spread offense and getting people in different spots. And so if you haven't adjusted through this, it's going to be hard. So that number of 20, although I think it can be attainable, it's going to be a lot of work because there's a lot of good offensive-minded coaches in this Big 12.
No, and I think everyone talks about Rattler and Oklahoma, and that's, the defense improving, and Rattler has some weapons. I still am not sold. I get it. He's a freak of nature. The guy, you pressure him, he is no pun intended. He gets rattled. He does.
I think you did put pun intended in there because I know you tried to pun intended. But let me tell you this about Spencer Rattler. He is special. I think we saw that last year after he got benched. And that's the part that everyone quits forgetting, or they keep trying to forget, is he got benched in the Texas game. And he came back in and won that game. And after that game, he took off. Because sometimes if you're elite, you have to be humbled to understand what got you to be that elite. He was on that show, QB1. He was on QB1, and I was watching it. I didn't like his attitude on that. I thought he was a cocky kid, and he was he knew everything was in front of him. But once he got to college, he realized that these dudes are big, fast, and strong, and I have to continue to work. He was playing in Arizona, and nothing against Arizona football. And Coach will tell you this, it ain't Texas football. It ain't Texas
Coach
football.
Murr will confirm.
That's right. And he had to be humbled a little bit. So let's see what happens and move forward to what we have going now, because this is an opportunity now for him as a quarterback to grow. It's him as he's working under my man Lincoln Riley, who's a genius, mule shoe magician, as we like to call him, because he's from Mule Shoe,
Texas.
But he's learning to play that position at a high and elite level. There's a reason why he's up for the Heisman, bro. There's a reason why.
I'm not underestimating him one bit. I just think that
it sounds like you are, Sean. It sounds like you are.
Come on, man. Come on. Give me some good I just think that you go up to Ames, Iowa. He had a down year last year. 20 starters coming back at Iowa State. I have a feeling that Brock Purdy and Iowa State, I want to pick them to win the conference championship.
Right.
Big 12. But you've got to go through Texas and their defense this year. And I think that's one of their strengths. And especially that D-line, Harge. I'm sold on the Texas D-line. And in particular, this threw me off. I had no idea about Jacoby Jones's age. We found that out. Plus, he's finally comfortable, and he's starting to be expressive, if you will, about his love for music. Take a listen.
My music, I was able to show them my music once I was able to open up to them. I'm very laid back. I'm like, they call me the OG around here because I'm the older guy. I'll be 24 in 3 weeks, so everybody look up to me like the older guy. So I'm very laid back, and I try to be a good leader for my guys, especially the young guys that really look up to me since I've been here so long.
Harge, go back to your college years. I know you went straight to professional baseball. Let's say you're 18, 19 years old. 24 years old is an old man.
Hey, let me see. I was on my second year of the 40-man roster with Montreal. When he said that, I was on that presser. He said, I'm the OG. I'm 24. I was like, huh? Say what? Say what? So are you taking kids to school today? Are you driving and dropping kids off at school in the school zone this morning? I was like, what? But the thing about it, because of this new rule with COVID and all you get an extra year, you get an extra year. I felt like I was listening to Oprah. You get a new car. You get a new car. What are we doing? So with him being able to come back and he should be the leader. He should be the one that they go to. And he should be able to help these young kids be able to understand what college life is like. Hell, he could teach them about their first 2 years of work because he's been there for so long. I'm like, golly. But as you look at it and you break it down, and the fact that he does have other interests and he's the music guy, those are the things that I like to hear about these players. Like he said, we know about the strapping it on and getting ready to go out there. And he talked a little bit yesterday about his weight fluctuating and how he wanted to be at this weight. They wanted him to play at this weight, and the new coaches, he's comfortable again. So I expect big things from him. But I want to know more about the music. He's like, I'm all around. You put me in a situation, I can make it happen. He also said, I had to make sure I lost some weight so I can run around a little bit faster, because you don't want big rims on a Ferrari, do you?
You could tell he's comfortable. You know, and I'll be honest with you, Harge. They are 6 to 7 deep on that defensive line. That's if you're including the DNs. And I enjoyed. Now, Jacoby transferred in, I believe, from junior Butler in Kansas.
Yep.
And Butler, by the way, for people listening, is a national JUCO power. I mean, they produce talent. Sure. I enjoyed watching him because the light did turn on at times for him last year. But it's going to be fun watching that D-line. To me, the perception, stereotypical SEC type of line, that's what Texas, I think, has as far as size and the depth. Man, I tell you what, this would be a good time for a certain voice.
Hey, man, tell me something good.
Let's do it, man. And hey, hold on, Harsh. Hold on. Let me get that.
Thank you. Appreciate you, brother.
Son, DJ Harsh does the honors for us weekly on the Tell Me Something Good segment, sponsored by Cosmic Coffee and Beer Garden. And somebody just woke their ass up and got back into the podcast.
Timing couldn't have been better, man. So since he's back, Mo, won't you tell us something good, brother?
I'm gonna tell you something good. I ain't got nothing to tell you
that. Oh my goodness.
Hey, no, this is something good. Football season is here, baby.
And yes, sir. Coach Murr approved.
Yeah, Coach. Hey, it's been a great honor to have Coach on the show today. But I tell you what, Harsh.
Yes, sir.
A&M is gonna beat that ass. Bet you on that diamond.
Bet you on that diamond. I got you. I'm gonna tell you something good. I'll tell you something good. This past week, football season, to Mo's point, has started. I got a chance to watch some high school kids get an opportunity to go out there and shine and give themselves an opportunity to get to the next level. And the ultimate goal is obviously to win a state championship for their high schools. Also, last thing, got a chance to spend some time in Texas State last weekend. Sean and I got a chance to go spend some time with Coach Spavital, his staff, Haley, his wife, Megan. They are so excited about the opportunities that Texas State has in front of them, because last year they were one of the few teams that got a chance to play all 12 games. Although COVID was running rampant in the quarterback room and defensive side of the ball, they had enough talent on that field to go ahead and get 12 games in. So they got a chance to grow, and Coach knows what this means. If you got a chance with some young players to get an opportunity to play and get that game experience, the next year you should get better, and the year after that you should be even better, because those young kids got a chance to play. So I'm excited to see what Texas State has in store, and I will be at the Texas State game when they take on Baylor on September the 4th.
Love it. Hand me the baton. I'll tell you something good, fellas. I know last week I mentioned it, and I talked to Charlie Taylor again at Pflugerville High School. Had the opportunity to give the jersey from our high school at Anderson to one of my best friends who lost his life, him and his wife, to COVID. You guys know the story all too well. To give that jersey, I had it monogrammed on the back, to give it to him 2 weeks ago in front of the Pflugerville Panthers. That was something good. Number two, when I walked into the Jarrell High School locker room, you know that stench. You know that special sweaty stench. It's something.
Is that your jock itch?
Man, no, not today. It's but you know that smell that they've been working. It's that smell of grass, sweat, and maybe a few tears, but it is something special. So that's my something good. And that's how we're going to wrap up things. This has been a good one. I love you boys. For the Coach Murr, the head coach of the Jarrell Cougars, and for Hardball Harge, and let's see, Coach Mo and Big Mike, who is just keep on working. We out.
Go ahead.
Hey, man.
Go ahead, Mo.
Wake your ass up.
Well, take a damn nap.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up.